Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. My name is Joey Brumley, and I am the owner of HBYOB. And to my right and y'all's right, I have Wes. How are you, Wes?
I'm doing well, man. How's it going?
Great. So Wes, you're with New Wales Brewing?
I am. We started the brewery in January of this year, so it's been a fun ride in 2020.
You started at the perfect timing, right?
Yeah, it's been an uphill battle, but as of late, a little slower. Got a little bit of time to relax.
So before we go on with what we're going to announce today, as you've seen in the description, we have a homebrew competition coming up. But before we go to that, Wes, what's your background? Did you start off as a home brewer?
Started off homebrewing in college, and then switched a little bit as I graduated and I'm a microbiologist and went and worked for one of the biggest beverage companies in the United States. Became a microbiologist and quality manager from them, climbing the ranks there, and basically fell in love with beverages and then the food industry altogether. So I'm still a quality manager, now working for food, but I've always been brewing on the side. And then we decided to open up our own brewery. One thing led to another, and here we are. So this is the short version.
I've had a few of your beers, all fantastic. What are your core beers there at New Wales? Do you have any that just stay on tap year round?
We try to keep the staple beers on tap year round. It's the ones that people are going to come in and always, please the crowd. That being like an amber, Country Dreamer is always on tap. We have a strawberry lime goza that was up for a very long time this summer, and then kind of a seasonal beer is a plum sour.
Okay.
And then as of lately, a New England IPA called Hop Chowder. But other than those, we tend to rotate taps a little bit. Right now, we got up a porter, and we rotate in a bunch of pastry stouts. We just try and keep the rest of the taps fresh, but also have those core options for regular customers.
I've certainly had one of your pastry stouts. It was delicious.
Thank you.
So where's the business located at? Where can we get beer and when?
So we're right now only on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Okay.
You can check the website, newalesbrewing.com, for the hours. I'm not 100% sure because I don't work the days. My two partners, they tend to do all the work right now. But we're located in downtown Middletown, Ohio, in past the railroad tracks, 1521 First Avenue. So we're actually about 3 blocks from Rolling Mill. So we hang out with those guys pretty frequently.
Okay. So you mentioned you have some partners in your business. How many do you have?
So it's me, Nicole, and Elizabeth. So that's actually how we got the name New Wales. That's Wes, Elizabeth, and Nicole. Not in that order, obviously, but it's the acronym for New.
Okay. So strike that, reverse it, just like
yeah.
So there's 3 partners. Your partner, you said your wife and Elizabeth.
Yes.
Do have they homebrewed in the past, or are they
not
just there to
so
support
much?
You?
My wife is actually a teacher, and Beth is a parole officer for juvenile.
Okay.
So broad background, all of us. They definitely put in the work. So I got no complaints. I'm more the scientist, come up with the brewing strategy and write the SSOPs and things like that. Beth especially is more of a culinary person. So she does a lot of cooking in the kitchen. She comes up with flavor profiles. I think she's had dreams before about things that we turn into beer. So they kind of like to run with the flavor profiles where I do most of the brewing.
So as you can see, I'm wearing one of your shirts today. I don't know if you can see it. I out of all the breweries around, your guys' names are by far. Who comes up with the names? I want to know who comes up with the names.
Sometimes we just sit down, powwow, have a beer or two, and start putting out ideas. And then when we all agree, like that's the one right there, then that becomes the name. So I mean, I couldn't even tell you who came up with which ones, but it's kind of a team effort.
Okay, because we must be around the same age or something, because like every single name, I'm like, oh my gosh, it brings me back.
Yeah, the oh my God, Becky, look at that pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So what we've done is we've had a homebrew competition in the past, and we're looking to do another one now. I was going to research when the last one was. I think it was a couple of years ago. With everything going on, we took a small break. Last competition, we did it with Star City. The winner was what was the winner? It was a blood orange IPA or blood orange pale ale, I believe, that won it. And I don't even like blood orange. Of all people, I could hands down, it was a delicious beer, and I put my own, opinion aside, but it was just a well-crafted beer and it was balanced really well. This year, we're going to do the competition again. We'll get into a little bit of the details in a second here. This year, no limits. Anyone can enter anything?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking we judge the beer to the style that it's supposed to be.
Sure.
So I'm taking pastry stouts, IPAs, hazies, whatever you want to bring in, lagers. It's all good. We'll just judge the beer based on the style it's representing.
So if you don't mind me walking through, for those that don't know, the winner is actually going to get to put their beer on tap at New Wales Brewing.
Yep.
And so the recipe they're going to brew. What kind of setup do you have? What are you brewing with?
Don't tell anyone, but it's a 1-barrel brew house.
Okay, that's fine.
Nah, got a story behind it. All kinds of breweries started with their brew house getting delivered off a UPS truck. We switched it up a little bit on the cellar side. We got tanks we can double batch into. We got tanks that are the same size as the brew house, and we got tanks that we actually split the batch into 2 or 3 different tanks and then treat them differently once it's in the fermenters, just to get different beers out of one brew. So it's a really cool way to create different brands without actually putting in 3 different brews worth of work. It saves on cold storage space. It's really helpful. For the competition, though, the winner is going to come. Basically, we're going to sit down, go over the recipe together, adapt it to the brew house setup, and come on back, pick a day. We'll brew the beer together. And then take it through the cellaring process and put it on tap at New Wales. So I'd assume the day we announce the winner, we'll set up a time with the winner himself or herself and go from there and then pick another day in the future. Probably, I average about 2.5 to 3 weeks from grain to glass. So we'll pick a day and then have everyone back for the release date.
So with your setup, is it, you said 1 barrel? If there's no limitations, I assume you have a glycol system there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we glycol. No limitations really. We brewed some of the pastry stouts too. I don't do a full 1-barrel batch, but I get probably 20 gallons out, and then we'll put beer into the tank at 23, 27 Plato. So the ABV is not really a limit either.
Okay. That's pretty exciting stuff. We on our last cast, we talked about malt gems. If I've got a lager, it doesn't sound like the winner, no matter what they come up with, should be a problem for your brew setup.
Unless you want to put it in a barrel, I don't have the space for it. That'd be about it.
Yeah. Okay. So no barrel aged beers, but we could work out something with some oak chips or spirals or something.
We
could get close.
Figure that out.
Do you use any like brewing software or?
Previous job, I was in the American Society of Brewing Chemists, which is a fantastic group. And I got one of their books where they just basically lay out all the formulas you would ever want to use in a brew day. And I just copied and pasted all those into an Excel spreadsheet and kind of used my own makeshift software. It's a little different, but it works.
So you're a true home brewer. You know what it is to make work with what you have. Oh yeah. So we have a question here by Sheena here. If we live in another state, can we compete? The answer to that, Sheena, is absolutely. There are no. So we're going to go over some of the competition details. I'm kind of doing this on a whim here, so bear with me. Let's see here. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see that there, but here's basically, if you want to enter the competition, just go to hbyob.com. There's a tab here that says competition. And then you basically get all the details of the competition. You can put your name, email address, and the beers that you want to enter down here. That takes, let's see, how do I get rid of this? That takes care of that. So go to hbyob.com, click on competition. The link is in the description, but absolutely, if you're in Ohio, Pennsylvania, California, it does not matter. My address is 123 North Springboro Pike, Dayton, Ohio 45449. New Wells Brewing is in the competition's description. You can send it to them. You can send it to us. You do not have to be in the state you don't have to be in Ohio to attend. We do have a due date of a time window just because we don't want the beers to sit too long sitting in my refrigerator or at New Wells' refrigerator. So if you could get it between April 1st and April 10th. We will be judging the beers. Let me look through the description here. April 10th, if you can have the beers into us by then. Results will be 4/17 of 2021. I can't believe the new year is upon us. You do have to attend, however, to win. So if you want to brew the beer with Wes, you will need to be there on the 17th, and that will be held at New Ales Brewing. So we're going to have a good time, drink their beers that they've already got on tap there. We're going to have a prize for first place. First place will be, we're going to have a $25 gift card for both HBYOB and New Wells Brewing, along with brewing the beer with Wes. On top of that, first place will also get a tilt hydrometer. Second place will also receive a tilt hydrometer, which if you haven't had that, that's a pretty awesome device there. Let's see here. We got another question. When do we have to have a firm beer entry list entered by? So we're pretty laid back. If you've met me or if you've met Wes, we're pretty laid back guys. Is that fair enough, Wes? So what we'll do is, if you get us the entry, you can enter it there on the web link. Enter the beers there. I'm going to provide New Wales with a sign-up sheet, and there's also going to be a sign-up sheet here at the shop. If you want to come in to sign up the beers, we are looking at, we're 3-4 months away from the competition, so we're giving you plenty of time to enter the beers. The entries will be $5 for the first beer and $1 for each entry thereafter. If you buy the ingredients here at HBYOB, we will waive the entry fees for you. So that's pretty cool. And if you want to drop off the beers over at New Wells Brewing, just bring a copy of the receipt that you got here from the shop, and just bring it over to New Wells Brewing and show them a copy of the receipt for your ingredients, and we'll take on the beers. Sorry, Wes, you're cutting out. Hey there, buddy? I can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I can hear you now. Oh, I lost you. We're playing peekaboo right now. It says, will you have bottle quantities? We got another question here. We have bottle quantities needed and bottle label requirements. So the answer to that is no. I actually had an email earlier on that because I put the website or the competition details live on the website last night. All we need is just 3 4-ounce samples. So whether that's 1 12-ounce beer or a couple of beers, you want to bring me a growler, however you want to get it to me or New Wells, it's all up to you. There's really no minimum, just as long as there's enough for 3 judges to judge the samples, 4 ounces a piece. So 1 bottle's honestly going to be plenty. Last year we asked for 2 or 3. We ended up with way more beer than we needed. So I hope that answers your question. No bottle requirements. Just make sure there's something when you enter the beers here or you enter them at New Wells. We will have just a way we'll basically label it then so we know what beer's what. We do ask, though, however, that you at least get it doesn't matter if you stick too strict to style guidelines. I'm not a BJCP, style guidelines junkie. So if you want to just give us an idea of what style you're going for, that would be very helpful. Because if you're if you're entering an Oktoberfest or a New England IPA, those are pretty big jumps. So just give us an idea of what our palate's about to receive. That's all I really ask for the most part.
I imagine I'm going to put everyone through like a sensory panel before we do the tasting.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little geeky.
Yeah. Well, when we did it last time, I will say that Chad over at Star City, he was actually pretty helpful for me to find a really good way where we can keep it discreet in the sense of not knowing whose entry they are. He basically labeled them ahead of time, and then my wife poured us the beers and brought them out, and there was just the number, or basically entry number was underneath the glass, so we didn't know it when we were drinking it.
Right. Yeah. We'll follow the same principle too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, have you entered any homebrew competitions before? By any chance?
I've not entered a competition ever.
Never?
Until like a week ago.
Yeah.
So we just did the Ohio Craft Brewers Cup, which is being announced tomorrow. But we put beers in that. That was our first one ever. So.
That'll be exciting.
Fingers crossed.
I've been to Beer and Sweat like 4 or 5 years in a row. I took second not this year, last year, for a pale ale that I did with Galaxy hops, and it was a beer that I didn't even really like.
I heard great things about that competition. Old brewer friend of mine constantly raved about it going up there. He's like, there's just guys with kegs, and I'm like, that sounds great.
It is so it's in a hotel, and the competition's at a hotel, and they give you a discounted rate if you enter ahead of time for the hotel. The first year I did it, I was like, oh, I won't drink that much beer. It starts at 11 a.m. How drunk can I get? Well, year 2, I made sure I had a hotel because, it is a full-blown fun party. So it's a lot of fun. Which brings me to this. I mean, this is all a matter of getting us together, having fun as homebrewers. So honestly, whether you're a new homebrewer or experienced homebrewer, have fun with this. I mean, this isn't something to take too seriously. Don't feel bashful. I mean, after the competition's over, if you want your results, we're going to write down, basically the notes that we had on the beer. I'm not a professional beer judge. I don't claim to be. So like I said, we will give honest feedback, but by all means, please don't be bashful if you're interested in entering the competition.
No, definitely not. I hope a rookie wins. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why we wanted to take this off, was so that, a lot of people are getting into home brewing this time of year, getting into the next year. If you get a home brewing setup from us, I'm going to give you a little flyer so you can enter the competition. Even if it's your first beer, why not go over to New Wales, experience their beers, see if you win. Maybe you win, maybe you don't. I mean, but at least
hang out with the community.
Exactly. I mean, that's what makes craft beer so much fun, is you get to talk to home brewers. That's what I like about the homebrew competitions. You get to experience a lot with home brewers. With that being said, we will give not critical feedback, but we will give you constructive criticism of your beer, what we liked, what we didn't like, so you at least have a good idea what you can work on as a home brewer. That will be available after the competition. I was shocked the first year we did it how many people really wanted that feedback. So I mean, definitely, like I said, we're not here to insult your beers or anything like that. Trust me, I've brewed many of beers that were really, really not good. So
I got a fun story about that.
Go ahead. What's your fun story about that one?
Like I kind of mentioned before, we try to do weird new things, but we did. I was in your shop, and I got the Kivak yeast, because I was like, we're gonna do a brute IPA with this weird yeast that I've never used before. And I also had 11 pounds of, now I don't know if you pronounce it acai berry or aki berry, but we did a Norwegian brute IPA with acai berry, and it got dumped pretty quick. It was horrible. I didn't realize how many seeds were in that either. So like, we were trying to get it out of sample port, and it wouldn't even come out. Like, it was horrible. But it's experimenting.
Yeah, I mean, I had a beer. I was going to do a s'mores beer, so I put graham crackers into the mash. Of course, my mash got clogged right up, and the first beer I poured, it looked like straight mud coming straight out of the tap handle. And the first beer to the last beer, it looked like mud. It tasted like mud. It was one of the worst beers I've ever brewed. I had a neighbor who thought it was like the greatest beer ever, but I digress. But like I said, by all means, please don't be bashful. If you want to enter a beer, it's fun. It's something for us all to get together, talk beer, drink beer, and have a good old time. That being said, the results will be announced on April 17th, 2021. Like I said, you have to attend to get there. We have plenty of time. If you please submit your form on the website, hbyob.com, click on the competition tab. You can basically enter the beers. We will collect funds, or if you bought the ingredients from me, we'll worry about that when you get into the store. If you drop your beers off at New Ales, just take it to them, bring a copy of the receipt you got here at the store so you can have your fees waived. Like I said, let's just have a lot of fun with this. So
we're also gonna hang out in the beer garden and drink beer. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, and then even if you win the beer, if you win the competition, or if you don't win the competition, we're gonna have another get together, which will be announced. We will announce it because we're going to work with the winner. We'll talk with Wes and we'll work out a good schedule that works with both of them. So we don't have a pinned in date on when the beer will be on tap, but we will announce that. But yeah, let's have a lot of fun with it. Anything else, Wes? I know. Any new beers you got? Any new beers on the fermenter?
Not right now. I got some plans for a Milkshake Ipa right now. Kind of just going off of past recipes from Hop Chowder and doing some weird stuff with that. We're partnering with a local restaurant in Middletown right now, and we're going to do a beer and food pairing with them coming up soonish, as soon as things get better, and we can pack the place. But I'm going to call it like New Year, New Ales. And just have like every course be paired with a beer that we've not had on tap or produced before, just because I think that'd be cool and different. So I got plans to make new beers. When that's going to happen, we'll just sit and see. But yeah, right now it's just a little bit of distribution, and a little bit of free time.
So is there any local restaurants or stores that we can get your beer?
Right now is Middletown at Bourbon's Kitchen on, I think it's Verity Parkway. They probably have us on tap 2 or 3 taps constantly. And then Doc's Place in Lebanon is another place you'll pretty much be guaranteed to find us on tap. But other than that, it's a little sporadic. Spoken Bicycles in Middletown will have us, and then Franklin Tavern every now and again. But Swiren, it comes and goes.
Okay. So if we go to the brewery, do you have it on tap or bottles to go, growlers? How do you bottle it
right
up?
now? It's growlers only. There's no on-site consumption. Growlers, and then we got 4 or 5 different brands in bottles right now. We have a pastry stout that's probably about gone. New IPA, Hop Chowder, Country Dreamer, and one other one. No, Kolsch. Post Milan is actually in bottles also.
What was the name of that one?
Post Milan.
See,
it's
here we go. I love the name.
Come
on now.
Yeah.
Post. All right. Well, I appreciate you so much for your time. Is there anything you'd like to add before we get off here?
Let's get the beers in. I want to taste everyone's creations. I think it'd be cool.
I know. Already between the likes and the comments and already people that are in, we got a couple people sending entries already. It looks like we're going to have a fantastic time and a lot of fun, and we're going to have so much fun with this. And I hope everybody wins. Everybody can't win. I'm even thinking about sneaking in a beer there to try to see what happens. But
who brewed this? This is horrible.
I've seen your setup and I'm a little jealous. So I mean, I might try to sneak in there, try to win the competition myself.
You can come brew with us too.
Yeah, we might have to figure that one out. Yeah. But so as of right now, where do we get your beer at the brewery? So what days was it open?
Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Wednesday, Saturdays, and Sunday. You have a website?
Facebook or newalesbrewing.com. Newales.com I think also takes you there. But Facebook, obviously, we keep that pretty current.
Can we reserve beers from the website, or does it need to be called in?
No, that got shut down. Wix didn't like me selling beer online, so.
Oh yeah, there's that.
Yeah, we got like 3 months into selling beer, and they were like, "What? You can't do this." So I guess we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Ohio in so many ways has got pretty lax on a lot of the laws. Now you can like get carry out. You can carry out like
a lot of breweries delivering and
bottle of Jack now.
Putting it in the mail. Yeah, we just got put. Or it's supposed to be put into Middletown's Dora district too. So coming in the spring and summer when the beer garden gets rolling, and we go back to normal outdoor hours, then we'll actually be able to have cups you can walk away with and go to the bar down the street and kind of tour Middletown. So
that's pretty cool. So the brewery is located in Middletown.
Yeah.
Any history behind the building that it's in?
The building used to be a 3-bedroom apartment complex.
Really?
Yeah. And about 15 years ago, my mom actually owned it and turned it into a commercial catering kitchen. So if anyone's ever heard of All About You Catering, that was my mother. And she catered out of this building for the last 15-ish years. When we decided we want to open a brewery, she's like, well, I'm about to retire. So you want to buy this building and take over payments. And we're like, all right. So we kind of moved in as she was moving out. It's still got a commercial kitchen kind of half set up in it. So we use it a little bit to our advantage. I went to Jungle Gyms before and just picked up some weird fruits and made purees in the kitchen. The pumpkin ale that we made, I roasted pumpkins in the gigantic convection oven. So it's played to our advantage a little bit.
Cool. So at the brewery, do you have food at the brewery?
Not usually. We rely a lot on food trucks right now.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of great food trucks around here. Is your mom's catering business, is it still...
Nah,
she still do no. So just you guys there at the.
Yeah, she's retired. Now she sits at home and got a Rottweiler puppy and living the easy life.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, I thank you so much. Honestly, everybody who wants to enter in, this will be a great opportunity. I have seen the brewing setup. Like I said, it is amazing. If you're a home brewer, like I said, please don't be bashful. Enter in your beer. This is more something to be fun for us to get back together as a community. We've been so cooped up for so long now. We're going to get back together and do a lot of fun things like this again. Enter in your beers. Like I said, the feedback on the beers will be available to you. You don't have to ask for it. There's a couple prizes for some winners. Ask New Ales, ask here at HBYOB. If you go to the website, you can enter in the beers there. You can email me, text, whatever works for you. We'll make it happen. I just want to keep home brewing alive, craft beer alive. And like I said, we've been cooped up for so long, and so many people are getting into the hobby right now and expanding on it. Let's brew some really good beer and have a lot of fun with this. That being said, I appreciate y'all very much. My name is Joey Brumley, and I am the owner and operator of HBYOB, Homebrew Your Own Beer. Wes, thank you so much for giving our homebrewers an opportunity to put some beer on tap around here.
Definitely.
And we look forward to seeing y'all soon. Anything else?
Cheers.
Where can we find you? One last time.
Downtown Middletown, 1521 First Avenue, New Ales Brewing. Looks like a house because it used to be. Beer garden around back. Just walk through like you own the place. Come on in and see us.
Awesome. I've had some beers. They are fantastic, everybody. So with that being said, thank you all very much. And in the next 4 months, we will be giving results on who's the winner. Until then, cheers, y'all.
See you later.